Hey guys, welcome back to the BuzWeaver channel and a bit of a follow-up from today's events in Pennsylvania. We're starting it off with the Daily Mail. Breaking news, Trump supporter claims he saw a man with a rifle hiding on the roof just outside rally and warned cops just minutes before ex-president was shot, as picture appears to show dead gunman. So I've seen the gunman. There are pictures of him. I'm not going to show any of them. As you can see here, I'm going to guess he's in his 20s. I would say he couldn't possibly be any older than, I couldn't imagine him being in the 30s. He's about as young as this guy right here. They're about the same. And what's fascinating about this is, as we go through this, and of course we've seen the images and so forth, and I'm going to show you more in just a second. So we're going to start over here on Instagram. And I want you to see where the Secret Service are in this image. I'm going to let it roll. Now, you see the Secret Service agent. He's looking in a particular direction, and then he's looking, and then he takes a shot. Now, I don't know if so he's looking, and then you'll see him take the shot. You'll see the recoil of the rifle. See, you got a camera, boom. There you go. Now, so that was the shot. So he had to have seen him, because here's Trump looking. He hears the shot. He's looking over here. And you see Donald Trump here in this space here, and we'll get to that in a minute. Look at the bullet that whizzed past Donald Trump. Now, I was talking to my gaming buddy, and he and I kind of agreed that it was probably a 22 rifle. And I used to shoot 22 rifles all the time as a kid with my friends. And a 22 rifle round can go a mile. If obviously, it can travel a mile. It's not a high caliber. Now, I'm just saying that that's what we talked about. I'm not saying that's what it was. But a 22 round can go a long way. I don't know. I didn't do any of the measurements of the images, but a 22 round can go a long way. Now, my shooting instructor used to joke that a 22 round might harm someone after several days. But obviously, if you get shot in the face or in the head or something with a 22 round, it's not going to be that simple, right? It's not going to be. Now, here's a clearer image of the shooter. I'm not going to show it. If you guys want to look up Adam Kregler on Twitter and look at the image, you can if you want. And here's Cernovich, Director of Secret Service. This is the new Director of Secret Service. And as we understand it now from all the talking heads and others, she did not want to provide additional protection for Donald Trump. I don't know how they knew that information or how it's been verified or anything, but suffices to say that it's going to be a huge scandal at this point, because there's people saying the Secret Service failed. The Secret Service did a terrible job, and, how could they not have known? But, in a world that isn't perfect, and remember, criminals only have to get it right once. Everyone else has to get it right 99% of the time. Well, the criminals only have to get it right once. Prior to her appointment, Ms. Cheatle served as Senior Director in Global Security of PepsiCo, where she was responsible for directing and implementing security protocols for the company's facilities in North America. Her role at PepsiCo involved developing risk management assessments and risk mitigation. Now, I worked in security myself as a young person and had some amazing individuals that I used to work with that were all former military. I think I was the only hire that was not military. And just the coordination that goes into something as simple as working security in a hotel, particularly ours, and then the military guys that we have there. And we did work with Secret Service, and we worked with the FBI, we worked with the CIA, we worked with a lot of organizations because they did certain operations out of our hotel, which was a 4-star hotel, very nice, posh, beautiful hotel at the airport here in Atlanta with a 4-star restaurant, and it was a beautiful restaurant with 1,200 rooms. It was beautiful. But even as a humble security person there, we had so many types of protocols for certain events. And I can remember even having a meeting one time about potential aircraft going into the hotel. This was long before 9/11. But it's fascinating how this was so, I don't know, poorly coordinated. This is going to be a whole other scandal into itself. Now, as I was saying, you can see the diagram of the area. So Trump was speaking here. The media cameras are always at a distance so they can, get their shots. The Secret Service agent who you saw in that original video was here. The shooter was right here. I'm not sure what the video location means, but this is where the shooter was. This is where the Secret Service guy was. And as you can see here, he's looking over and he sees him, right? So this guy, the Secret Service guy, is right here on this roof. and he sees the guy over here. Now, I have this unlisted, but if you guys want to check this out.
Someone who was here. You weren't inside the event,
nope,
but you were just outside. Tell us what you saw.
So we had a party here all day. You can see behind us at the Brinkles Farm and Greenhouse here. We had a party, and we all decided, hey, you know, when we hear Trump up there, we're going to walk up through the field, stand by the trees up there under the shade, and watch and listen to the rally. Right? We couldn't see him, but we could hear him. So we walked up. And probably 5 to 7 minutes of Trump speaking. I'm estimating here. I have no idea, you know. But we noticed a guy crawling, bear crawling up the roof of the building beside us, 50 feet away from us. So we're standing there, and, you know, we're pointing at the guy crawling up the roof.
And he had a gun, right?
He had a rifle. We could clearly see him with a rifle. Absolutely. We're pointing at him. The police are down there running around on the ground. We're like, hey, man, there's a guy on the roof with a rifle. And the police were like, huh, what? You know, like they didn't know what was going on. You know, we're like, hey, right here on the roof. We can see him from right here. We see him. You know, he's crawling. And next thing you know, I'm thinking to myself, why is Trump still speaking? Why have they not pulled him off the stage? I'm standing there pointing at him for, 2 or 3 minutes. Secret Service is looking at us from the top of the barn. I'm pointing at that roof, just standing there like this. And next thing you know, 5 shots ring out. So you'll...
Yeah, so, wow, there's going to be so much to talk about here in the next several days. And President Biden released a statement on Trump assassination attempt, writes, I have been briefed on the shooting at Donald Trump's rally in Pennsylvania. I'm grateful to hear that he's safe and doing well. I'm praying for him and his family and for those who were at the rally, and we await further information. And, wow. Yeah, I mean, that's how close it was. That's how close that was for that going into his eye, going into his face, going into his neck, going into his mouth. It's just, I pray for the president every single day. And this is why, I guess, in a way that I do. Of course, we don't always know the fate that the Lord has for us in our lives, but I do pray for the president, as I pray for most people. I pray for the country. And this is one of those amazing situations where that's how close it was for something very serious, even death. If that had gone into his eye or his throat. Now, I don't know how far away this is. I'm going to assume it's fairly close. But like I said, if, and I'm speculating, I am purely speculating, if it were a 22 round and he was that far away, a 22 round would easily land. And despite people joking about the round not being very harmful, if it goes into your eye, goes into your neck, goes into your throat, goes into your mouth, it's going to create a problem, especially if it's a hollow point. But, so, we have this from Barack Obama. There's absolutely no place for political violence in our democracy. We're a constitutional republic, Barack. Although we don't yet know exactly what happened, we should be all relieved that former President Trump wasn't seriously hurt and use this moment to recommit ourselves to civility and respect in our politics. Yeah, except for the fact that you guys, or the establishment that is, have been coordinating efforts to imprison Donald Trump, basically. I mean, the fraud case, the hush money case, these are just stretching beyond the boundaries of our law. We have the spirit of the law, we have the letter of the law, and the Democrats like to weigh those and decide which one of those they want to use, whether or not they actually want to pursue someone, because this is why it's historic. No one has ever gone after a former president. Ever. Until now. Because Donald Trump is trying to dismantle the establishment uniparty. Say whatever you want to say. That is what's happening. That is what is unfolding right now. And, so this is going to be a huge scandal, without a doubt. And here's the interview again. If you guys want to check it out, you can go to the Daily Mail. And it's right on the front of the Daily Mail. If you go there now, as a matter of fact, it's right here. I just went to the Daily Mail and to see what all they had here. And, of course, I've been watching a lot of the live streams and what people have been saying, and I just wanted to coordinate and put together some of the things that I have seen for you guys to see. Of course, you can look all this stuff up yourself Ian Carroll, if you want to go and check him out on Instagram. I think it's actually DC Drano that made the post. Let me see. Yeah, DC Drano was the one who actually made the post. So, and then, of course, if you go to Benny Johnson's Twitter, he's got a lot of stuff here on his. And here's a former Secret Service, Don Bongino. Let's see what Dan has to say here.
It's time for a full presidential package for President Trump. If you go back and listen to episode 2079, President Trump does not have that. He doesn't have that now. I get it. There are some legalities involved. But President Trump is a former president running for re-election. You essentially have two incumbents running. Folks, he does not have a full presidential package right now. It is putting the man in danger. His threat level is apocalyptic and catastrophic. It is time right now for Kim Cheatle, the Secret Service director, to get her head out of her ass and do the right thing. I could tell you stories for days about her putting politics ahead of presidential protection. I am not being overly emotional because I've said it before. The Secret Service director is utterly unqualified right now to be doing what she's doing.
All right, and so that's the opinion of a former Secret Service agent, Bongino, and Dan should know. He worked for the Secret Service. He actually worked for the Clintons, and he could tell you all kinds of stories about Hillary and so forth. But that's beside the point. You know, if President Trump is not getting a full package, that is bizarre. Remember RFK Jr. They weren't going to give him it. The Democrats made sure he didn't get one at all. Matter of fact, they completely threw him under the bus, and he's not even running as a Democrat potential candidate anymore. And so if you want to see Bongino here, you can just go to Bongino Report. That's him on Twitter. And you can hear the rest of his, or you can go on Rumble as well and listen to his commentary there, as well as mine. I'm on Rumble. I had as I said, I had a huge week on Rumble, having a huge week here on YouTube with all that's going on. So I want to thank all you guys across New Tech, as well as all of you here on YouTube for your guys' continued support. The likes, the shares, the comments are all greatly appreciated. It's all helping the channel, because sometimes I sit there and I look at leftists and watch their videos on YouTube. They've got like 2,000 subscribers or 1,500 subscribers, yet they get thousands of views on their videos. So, and I've dealt with this for years, because obviously I started off as a gaming channel and really focused a lot on gaming, and then I had to switch over to something else. But, I mean, it's inexplicable sometimes how even on my other social medias, I can get way more traffic, way more metrics, way more activity on them than on YouTube. Now, granted, there's a lot going on YouTube, and of course, they prioritize the mainstream media over a regular YouTube content creator. So, but I do want to thank all you guys for your continued support. Appearing there on the screen, that's going to be the channel icon. You guys can click on that to subscribe to the channel, so your support is always appreciated there. And, of course, select to be notified when there is content here on the channel. And I'll see all you guys in the next video.